Hi, this is Craig Resnick coming to you from the 2017 ARC Industry Forum in Orlando, Florida. With me today is my special guest, Jason Andersen, Vice President, Business Line Management of Stratus Technologies. How you doing today, Jason?
Doing great, Greg. Thanks for having me.
You know, one of the things your company specializes in is solving problems of unscheduled downtime. So what kind of products, solutions does your company offer to help customers in that regard?
Sure. So we build redundant computing platforms, and we have really kind of two approaches. The first approach is a very turnkey server-based solution. Operates much like any other server in your data center, but it's completely redundant. Every single piece has got a failover capability in it. And then we also make a redundant operating system, which can be deployed on any Intel hardware. If you have a Dell server or HP or something, and it just installs on the server, and it mimics the same type of continuously available operations as our server product, but allows you the flexibility and choice to pick your hardware.
Okay. Now, obviously, that does solve a lot of problems for customers. Obviously, downtime is one of the biggest. But what do you see as some of the biggest challenges for manufacturers and processes going ahead?
Well, it's really funny. Whenever we talk to our customers, the feedback we get is not necessarily just the continuous operations and downtime prevention we offer, but also the simplicity and the service we provide to the solution. Because frankly, the folks who deploy these solutions or have them running in a plant floor or even on an oil rig, they don't want to have to figure it out. Right? They want to make it very easy to kind of hot swap in the new componentry. They want to almost be notified if there's a problem. In fact, we offer, our service model offers the ability to kind of almost provide a preventative maintenance aspect to it, where we say, you know, this hard drive looks like it might be getting a little wonky. You might want to tell you what, we'll send you a new one. You can just replace it very easily. So really the removal of the complexity from the overall environment and maintaining the server is almost, or maybe even in some cases, more important than the continuous operations.
Okay. You know, one of the things we've heard throughout the forum is the term disruptive technologies.
Yeah.
So what is Stratus Technologies, how are you responding with your customers with solutions to kind of follow the trends of solving some of these problems that are as a result of these disruptive technologies?
Well, our thought process on that is a little bit different. We think there's a lot of disruptive software technologies coming along. If you look at what's going on in the cloud or what's happening with analytics and those types of technologies, there's a lot of value that can be offered to the customer. But the truth of the matter is that they really can't move forward until they get their infrastructure right. So our opinion is that we're a great place to start to get somebody on the path to, say, an Internet of Things type of deployment, because we're going to offer a virtualized server so they can add more software and add more capacity without buying more servers. They're going to be able to have it not have any reliability issues, and they're going to be able to have it get world-class support. So we really see ourselves as kind of an on-ramp to those disruptive technologies. That's today's statement. I think as we look ahead, we're really starting to delve deeper into how we can do even more to augment that infrastructure, security capabilities, or can we do things with like things like software-defined networking, or other technologies we can do to actually make the infrastructure experience even more robust. And we're going to be talking about that throughout the course of 2017. So we're pretty excited about what's coming down the line in the roadmap.
Okay. Now, talking to a lot of the users here, they're very, very familiar with a lot of Stratus Technologies solutions, especially in the operations technology section.
Right.
As with IT/OT convergence, how do you see yourself getting that same level of name recognition, company recognition in the IT level?
Well, there's a couple ways we're doing that. First, we're making a number of investments in terms of developing some of the partner ecosystem stuff we've done. We've had great relationships with the likes of Rockwell and Wonderware over the years, and we're going to do more there. We believe that'll help. But the other thing we're going to really do is put a lot of focus on the fact that the infrastructure at the edge is different. And I think we need to really provide almost an educational aspect to IT, where they start to really understand that that difference is important and that it requires different types of solutions than what's maybe off the shelf or what you'd set up in your kind of larger hyper-converged data center or your software-defined data center. So we're really starting to kind of provide a smart alternative, if you will, to those folks. And we think that that's really an educational process. And a lot of that has to do with what we'll be doing this year.
You know, one of the things that it takes to be successful in this business is having an ecosystem of partners. I think you really see that at the forum of a lot of the collaboration that's taking place. Talk about Stratus Technologies partnership programs.
Well, geez, we have a few of them, and it really varies. In the United States in particular, since we're here in the U.S. today, the way we go to market is primarily through software distributors of the major SCADA and HMI ISVs. So partners like InSource is a great one, who works with Wonderware in the Southeast United States. So we partner with them, or we partner with somebody like an Automatech in the Northeast US with GE. So we really kind of intercept the opportunity at the distributor level, and we go to market with them. And that's worked out very well for us here in the US. However, in places like Asia, it's a little bit of a different market. And what we're doing there is OEMing our software technology to vendors who are not necessarily IA distributors, but they're building their own kind of unique IA solutions, and they're assembling themselves. So we have partners like Height and Great Wall in China, for example, who are bringing those forward with our technology in them, but they're really driving the boat on that end. So, and then the rest of the world's a bit of a mix, but in the US and China, our markets are very different, but we serve them both pretty successfully.
Now, it's interesting you say that, because certainly now that gets involved with economic forces. There's certainly going to be quite a few economic headwinds, both in the U.S. and around the world coming in 2017. At the same time, there'll be certain areas of the economy that pick up that will provide tailwinds, both in the U.S. and around the world. How will you see Stratus Technologies addressing of how you're going to, let's say, overcome some of the economic headwinds and at the same time take advantage of the tailwinds?
So I think what we're seeing is that the primary consumer of our technology, especially here in the Americas, is in the process space. So an area where we've seen some headwinds over the last year or so is oil is one of our largest segments, if not our largest segment. And obviously that capital investment has slowed down. We believe that'll begin to bounce back over time, and we see more opportunity there. So what we're doing is we're really consistently investing in the spaces we want to play. So we're not just kind of showing up and doing our thing and waiting for the right time. We're kind of consistently doing that. So we've done a lot with oil and gas in the last couple of years, or last 3 or 4 years, and we're going to continue to do that and continue to invest there. So that's one way we're going to deal with the headwinds. The tailwinds is a little bit different. We think that that's why we're starting to really evaluate kind of new form factors and new types of technologies, and how can we take advantage of maybe the customer who isn't necessarily thinking of an availability solution. A lot of times when we get brought into an opportunity with a customer, they've already decided, I need to make this highly available, or I need to make this fault tolerant or continuously available. So, but what about the customer who maybe just needs a little bit more convincing? Or how can we get them to go from, I don't necessarily need that level of robustness, but something in between. So we think that as more people get on board with updating their facilities, updating their plant, updating their remote sites and pipelines and all those types of things, as that aging infrastructure comes about, we're trying to get to encourage them to not necessarily, or maybe have something in between world-class and kind of off the shelf. And that's something we're looking to take advantage of this year. And effectively, that's what's happening in China. The solutions we sell in China don't necessarily have all the same features that we have in the FT server, but they do it at a price point that's very attractive. So maybe some of that can inspire what we do in Europe or the US or places where we might have a little bit more of a financial challenge.
Okay. And as a last question, as we've listened to a lot of the presentations here at the forum, edge devices is certainly a recurring theme. So what is Stratus Technologies doing regarding providing edge device solutions to your customers?
Well, I mean, pretty much almost everything we sell in IA is edge-based. And like I said, we're in very remote sites like oil pipelines and rigs and gatherings, places for natural gas, and breweries. For some reason, we've done well in breweries, which I like. But what we see over and over again is that there's a lot of solutions going out there that are focused on a specific price point or even a specific protocol for cards and things like that. We tend to think that it's going to be, that's not necessarily the state of the future. As more and more people are going to try to adapt their existing infrastructure to accommodate analytics and IoT technology, they're going to need virtualization, and they're going to need more significant systems and they want to do it with fewer systems, not more. So ultimately, we think that customers will begin to buy. The state of the kind of current market of network computers and stuff is a good market, but nonetheless, we think customers will, as the data becomes democratized as a function of IoT, we think that they're going to need more powerful systems, and as that data becomes more critical, they're going to need those systems to be more robust and reliable. So we think, and then ultimately, the last step in the process is that the data becomes real time. And if you look at our 36, 37-year history, that's all we've ever done is protect real-time applications. I mean, we're in credit card processing and telecommunications and all these places. So as IA adapts and becomes even more real-time and more data-driven, they're going to need us more and more at the edge. And we think that our solutions are effectively future-proofing people from that. And that's what makes us different than the standard competition. Then when you add our service model and our proactive maintenance to it, it's a game changer for us. So we feel pretty strongly that the enlightened customer is going to pick us because of all those advantages versus kind of a standard off-the-shelf solution.
Excellent, Jason. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Again, this is Craig Resnick from the 2017 ARC Advisory Group, Orlando Forum. Thanks. Have a great day.